foot. Oh, what a shot! There he goes.
Even if they said, "Glad tomorrow you find King Kong," I'll be like, "No problem."
Moses Itauma, 6'4" lightning in a 20-year-old frame, 12 wins, 10 ruthless knockouts. But the date he once vowed to beat, May 20th, 2025, Mike Tyson's youngest champion milestone, has already slipped past. The record survives, yet the stopwatch still ticks. How fast can a Prodigy rewrite the next line of heavyweight history? Tyson Fury still rubs the bruise Moses left on his forehead during a private spar. The kid hits like a truck and thinks like a chess grandmaster. Fury half-joked, half-warned. Itauma's first 10 pro knockouts lasted less combined ring time than a single TV ad break. Analysts rave over his mythical 200-0 amateur slate, but coaches praise what stat sheets ignore. He rewinds every round in slow motion, pausing to diagram foot angles the way mathematicians sketch proofs. Hype alone doesn't climb the heavyweight ladder. Discipline does. And Moses checks his resting heart rate more often than social media likes. Tonight, you'll see how a Council Estate prodigy turned missed history into rocket fuel, and why becoming one of the youngest champions of the four-belt era could end up the quietest bullet point on an era he calls Moses time. Moses Itauma arrived on a snowy Slovakian morning, Nigerian power in his veins, Slovak grit in his lungs. Racist slurs shadowed early playgrounds, so the family packed 2 suitcases and restarted in Chatham, Kent. Cheaper rent, heavier accents, familiar prejudice.
I'd say my ring intelligence. Obviously, I've been boxing since I was 9, so yeah, I think what separates me from the other boys is my ring intelligence, my ring IQ.
9-year-old Moses ducked into the town's scruffy boxing club, slipped borrowed gloves over hands already wider than most adults, and hammered a lonely heavy bag until dusk. Coach Martin Bowers recalls that first drill. The bag swung back, and the kid never blinked. Evenings at home revolved around Prince Nassim highlight DVDs. Moses mirrored Naz's switch-hitting swagger with a broomstick, then scribbled imaginary commentary in crayon. Left hook, lights out, crowd erupts. Competition arrived fast. At 11, he stopped a regional favorite in 30 seconds. At 13, he pocketed his first national schoolboy title. By 16, he'd stacked European junior golds like trading cards. The amateur ledger swelled to a mythic 200-0. Only 10 opponents survived the distance. Ringside parents whispered that if Moses sneezed, rivals fell.
The fact that his brothers lost tonight, this is the first big test of his professional...
Blocked that defeat out, hasn't he? And what a start!
What a start!
Titles hid real-world strain. Mom worked night shifts in elder care. Dad hauled boxes for minimum wage. Moses jogged to school at dawn because bus fare felt like luxury. Tournament stipends, barely enough for lunch, fed the family's gas meter. Poverty, he later said, taught me to breathe through discomfort, handy when a heavyweight drills your ribs. WhatsApp clips leaked. Grown men retreating behind headgear while a teenager stalked them calmly. Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions slid a contract across a kitchen table still cluttered with cereal bowls. Moses signed, hugged his mum, and laced up for life among giants.
Some of the footage I managed to get hold of, which she doesn't know about, but, they got their head guards on, and I didn't realise at first who he was sparring with. When I knew it was, I thought, bloody hell.
January, Wembley Arena buzzing. Czech journeyman Marcel Bode expected 4 rounds and a payday. Bell rings, Moses slips a jab, detonates a southpaw hook, and 23 seconds later, Bode is flat. Cameras scrambling for filler. Momentum snowballed. Mexican warrior Ramon Ibarra lasted 35 seconds. Moroccan tough guy Amin Bouzata folded twice in 1 round. Hungarian veteran Istvan Bernath heard round 2, then sagged early in round 3. 4 fights, combined ring time under 5 minutes. British tabloids screamed Tyson 2.0.
Feet out, hasn't he? And what a start!
What a start! He's a knockout machine as a junior amateur.
TikTok loops streaked past 1 million views. Teens mimicked Itauma's peekaboo stance in school corridors. Yet hype can boomerang. Audley Harrison's gold medal glow dulled fast. David Price's meteoric climb crashed at a chin. Moses sensed the echo. After the Bouzata blitz, he marched into Warren's office. Give me someone who throws back. Enter Kevin Nicolas Espindola, Argentine road warrior with lungs of leather. For the first time, Moses tasted round 3. Espindola jabbed chest, leaned rough forearms, hissed, "Teen star, you fade now." Itauma's nose bled. The crowd hushed, and every scout leaned closer. Mid-round 4, Moses adjusted, quit headhunting, bored hooks into ribcage like augers. Espindola sagged yet endured, forcing a 6-round verdict. 60-54 on the cards, but victory felt different. Moses proved he could breathe underwater, not merely sprint on sand. Backstage, he quipped, "You can't sprint a marathon. I'm learning to run fast miles." Camp philosophy pivoted. Road work became negative split 5-milers. Sparring rounds jumped to 10. Last 2 without headgear. Each session closed in silence. Moses staring at a stopwatch until his pulse dipped below 50. Trainer Ben Davison explained, "Clocks must be allies. Power wins rounds. Patience wins reigns." The media hurricane raged.
Future now. It's almost like he needs to get it out. He needs to get angry in there. And this from the bombs that are, he really does.
Yet Moses walked through it with quiet eyes and notebook in hand, plotting, not trending. Spring unfurled a belt shot. The vacant WBO Intercontinental bauble opposite Ilya Mezentchev, German veteran with 30 pro bouts and an overhand right like a falling sledgehammer. Commentators muttered, "Resistance test." Moses transformed it into a syllabus. Round 1, feint low, slip right hand, corkscrew hook to liver. Round 2, double jab upstairs, pivot, loop southpaw bomb, mouthpiece airborne. Referee waves the inquest. 2 rounds, belt secured. He could have roared. Instead, he whispered, "Step 1. Camera zoomed on his wristband. 20 years, no fear. Now a reminder, not a deadline. Tyson's record survived, but a fresher goal gleamed. Become the youngest champion of the 4-belt era and the first heavyweight king born after 2000. Training secrets dripped to Instagram. 1,000 peekaboo slips round a floating tennis ball. Ankle weight shadow boxing while reciting multiplication tables. 5 a.m. cold plunges to mimic round 12 lactic burn. Sports psychologist Dr. Rani Gupta drilled cognitive tempo. Let reptile aggression strike while librarian analysis catalogs. Attack like Tyson, compute like Klitschko, she summarized.
There he goes.
Step back and create a little bit of distance and landed a good jab.
He's trying his best to keep the distance.
Belt in hand, Moses defended like a storm. London's 0-2, veteran Mariusz Wach lumbered forward. Double jab uppercut snapped headguard straps, straight left, folded ribs, fight done in 2 rounds. Riyadh season lights. Dempsey McKean hoped to dance. Itauma cut the ring, disguised an overhand behind a shoulder shimmy, detonated a hook hotter than desert asphalt, corner towel airborne before 5. Highlight reels resembled controlled demolitions, yet post-fight interviews felt like masterclasses. Viewers stayed for breakdowns, not just bang, 80% retention, pure algorithm gold. Corporate sponsors noticed, intellect behind violence is a marketable paradox. Every camp starts in darkness, stopwatch glow only. Moses taps start, shadows the ring until the display reads Tyson's championship age, 20 years, 4 months, 22 days, then clicks stop. Not superstition, neural anchoring.
Very bruised in the morning, and that is a great left hook. Moves it to the body, again comes in with a big right hand. Now he switches to the body again. Can he finish it? No, it's too late.
The missed record becomes fuel, not regret. Jim Wall, 2 columns. Red ink cautionary tales. Michael Grant, Seth Mitchell, Daniel Dubois. Talent isn't time-proof. Green ink mentors. Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko. Patience is power. He studies those names like commandments. Tech meets tradition. Heart rate variability graphed daily. Sleep tracked by smart ring. Sparring partners rotated weekly. 6'9" jab artists one camp. Squat pressure cookers the next. He watches heavyweight classics at 0.75 times speed. Freezes frames when legends square up, muttering, "Never this." Sketching foot angles onto index cards. Inside ropes. Scholar becomes shark. Tyson Fury remembers 8 rounds. I fainted. He slipped and countered before my eyes registered. He was 19. Ridiculous. Promoters salivate. Bookmakers shorten odds. Pay-per-view producers sleep easy. The highlight reel cuts itself. Threats lurk. Dillian White seeks redemption money. Martin Bacol's camp insists Moses ducked sparring. Joseph Parker's granite chin hovers. Politics muddle waters, but risk forges legends. Moses shrugs. If I can't beat everyone, I don't deserve the one. Analysts play chess. White's left hook demands shoulder roll pivots. Bacol's 300-pound mass tests stamina. Parker's twitch feints probe ring IQ. Each hypothetical glues eyeballs, feeding replay clicks.
Obviously, as an amateur, I won 2 national titles, 3 European medals, gold medals, and a world title. And as a professional, I'm looking to replicate that and doing it quicker than the youngest heavyweight world champion himself, Mike Tyson. I see him sitting at the front. He's staring at me, but listen, pressure makes diamonds, man. Pressure makes diamonds.
Clocks tick louder. Tyson's age mark stands. Yet Itauma can still become the youngest modern-era champion and the first heavyweight monarch born in the 21st century. That reframes pressure, from chasing yesterday's number to forging tomorrow's empire. Summer sunsets flame above Kent as Moses jogs coastal trails, stopwatch beeping each mile. Each beep reminds him the old deadline has drifted, yet every stride banks experience for a 21-year-old coronation. New mantra: title by 21, unified by 23, undisputed by 24. Ambition bends probability. Discipline welds it. Obstacle 1, Filip Hrgović, mandatory challenger with a piston jab and concrete chin. Itauma's pocket aggression versus Hrgovic's mid-range artillery equals fireworks. Promoters whisper Riyadh. Sponsors dangle 7-figure bonuses. Moses pauses Hrgović Zhang at slow-mo, noting body feints that froze Croatian feet. Obstacle 2, Andy Ruiz, hand-speed anomaly who shocked Anthony Joshua. Ruiz's flash counters punish reckless entries. Moses's peekaboo lean invites that trap. Ben Davison pencils double slip drills. Jab, slip inside. Dig body, pivot out. Speed kills. If it's yours, it kills you if it's his, he reminds the Prodigy. Obstacle 3, Jared Big Baby Anderson, American star of similar age. Social feeds frame it: next Tyson versus young Ali. Styles diverge. Anderson silky, Moses explosive, but algorithms crave the contrast. Fans bicker in comment threads. Who risks zero first? That debate alone spins millions of watch hours.
He's looking for the finish. Still 90 seconds in the round to go, and in goes the tap.
First round. Oh, that's a great left hook. He's gone. Straight line, inviting the trouble. He's brave, but he's completely outgunned.
7 wins from 7 fights.
A tournament, Richard. And
It's been the distance twice, Itauma.
Money muddies movement. Saudi investors wave 8-figure purses for novelty pairings. Las Vegas casinos worship ranking logic. British stadiums promise thunderous crowds but lighter checks. Team Itauma weighs exposure against growth. Better to learn in 12-round silence than implode before 90,000 floodlights. Meanwhile, Moses mentors local amateurs for free. Kids carrying yesterday's Moses in their shoulders. He ends sessions with a mantra: discipline shines where talent blinks, then refills water bottles and scrubs the canvas himself. That humility threads into midnight ice baths when doubt creeps. Podcast host presses, missing Tyson's record? Failure? Moses smiles. Failure is stopping. Records keep. Legacies stretch. Calm words from someone who still recites multiplication tables while shadowboxing. Yet boxing breeds curveballs. One mistimed weave, one thumb in eye, one peculiar judge's tally can flip destiny. Countdown narratives magnetize audiences because doom stalks triumph's curtain. Fans tune in not just to witness success, but to gasp if it crumbles. When the title eliminator call finally rings, maybe tomorrow, maybe 6 months, Team Itauma must juggle risk, reward, and that ever-blinking stopwatch. Accept too soon, and raw edges might fray under title fight Klieg lights. Wait too long, and another comet may streak past. The tension wire hums loud enough to feel. The stopwatch that once threatened to suffocate Moses Itauma now fuels every stride, every slip, every pre-dawn plunge. Fury now walks beside calculus.
He's a good kid. I've said in the past that I think he can be a champion, and I do think, just like I said with Jared Anderson, I think Jared and Moses are very, very both good fighters.
Predator instinct shakes hands with patience. Still, heavyweight history is a maze of trapdoors. One blink, and the clock cackles last. When the bell tolls for Itauma's first world title round, will commentators still measure him against Tyson's age record? Or will Moses have bulldozed a timeline so explosive the old statistic feels quaint? Tell me, fight fans, is time still Moses Itauma's fiercest foe, or just another sparring partner he plans to flatten? Drop your verdict below. Jab that subscribe and keep notifications on, because the next installment of Moses Time could detonate before you finish typing.